Welcome to Yoga Tips at Unplug and Be Mindful. My name is Tricia Glynn, and we're going to go over Warrior 2 today. Very common position that you see in almost every vinyasa class, but it's also one of the most commonly misaligned poses. So although this is one of the basic poses, it's a great pose to go over whether you are a beginner, brand new to yoga, or whether you've been doing this for many, many years. The more advanced you are, when you find those little misalignments, you're really going to feel the difference in your practice. You're going to make the posture more comfortable. They're also one of the more challenging things to correct. The longer you've been doing a proper a yoga posture misaligned, the harder it's going to be to break that habit. So let's kind of work through it and see how we do. So I'm going to start. We already went through, if you've seen the yoga tidbit for Tadasana, then we started our Tadasana. We're going to build on that pose. So I like to start with my arms out, and I'm going to step back. I have my right leg back here. And we're going to draw those toes out. So I have my right toes out, and I have my left toes forward towards the top of the mat. And I'm going to bring those arms out and relax our shoulders. Awesome. Now I'm going to bend that left knee towards the left pinky toe. This front knee takes priority over this back hip. So often what I'll see students do on their yoga mat is take this back hip and bring it way open here, and then look what happens to my knee. I'm putting pressure on the inside of this knee, and this knee is not supposed to bend in that direction. So although the idea is to open up this hip for safety, this front knee takes priority. So in order to keep that knee safe, we think of bending this front knee towards that pinky toe. And that will keep that knee with nice alignment, bending forward and not dropping in. As you start to work through the pose, if you feel the weight go into the big toe, and you can try that, press into your big toe right now, and you'll see that that knee dips in. So if I press into my big toe, my knee comes in. So you'll see that your knee has more protection on the outside than on the inside. So when you try to bend your knee towards your pinky toe, your knee's not going to bend that way. So we don't have to worry about that direction. We have to worry about it bending in this direction. So what we want to do is bend that knee towards that pinky toe. Once we have that knee forward, then we can work on the back leg. So if you press your pinky toe in the back leg, my right leg, into the mat, you'll feel you open up that hip. But if this is too much, you can also adjust this foot to help make this hip more comfortable. So these right toes, I can angle them in a little bit, and that allows my hip to come in a little bit, and this will help with the alignment of that front knee. So if you're starting to feel pressure on the inside of that knee, even as you're pressing into that left pinky toe, adjust the back foot, bring it in a little bit. That hip coming in a little bit is just going to help that knee coming forward. Okay? So as you come into your Warrior 2, we're using the strength of our core to press down through our legs, but I want you to take your hands and place them on your hips. I tend to hike my back hip up. I tend to do this. I'm a hip hiker, we call it, right? So I have to add some length to this side. Now the problem is I can't get much movement in my pelvis when my leg is this straight. So a nice little secret you can do here is bend your back knee just to get yourself into position. When you bend your back knee, you'll notice you have more mobility of your pelvis. So drop with the back knee bent, angle your hips, square out your hips, and now point your tailbone down. Bend that front knee to the pinky toe. So we have the knee pointing forward, and you want to just be careful that your knee tracks over your ankle. You never want your knee to go further forward. So if your knee is forward over your toes, what you're going to feel is pressure right here on that patella tendon. If you have pressure on that patella tendon, that's not a good thing. So what we want to do for safety of that knee is always make sure that your knee is over your ankle and never your toes, and that will keep that knee nice and safe. And now straighten that back leg out only to the extent that you can keep that positioning of the pelvis, that safe positioning. You want to lengthen both sides of the torso so you're nice and long, right? And even though this knee is bent and this one is straight, you're standing up tall with one leg bent. You're not leaning forward, right? So this is a common misalignment that I see as well. So you want to think of your Tadasana torso, bending the front knee towards the pinky toe, and relax your shoulders, right? So if your shoulders come up in this position, one of the things that you can do is flip your palms, slide your shoulder blades down the back. So my arms are actually bent here, and that's okay. And then keeping your elbows, stretch out with your palms up until you can reach the point that to keep those shoulders down, but you're reaching out. Now flip the palms and the shoulders stay down. If you have a sore shoulder, if your shoulder is kind of bothering you or you have something going on, you have a sensitive shoulder, you can do all standing postures, I call them, with chicken wing arms. So if you have, say, a sore right shoulder, then you can shorten your arm and create that chicken wing. Looks kind of silly, but who cares? That's not why we do our yoga practice. We do it to make ourselves feel better, not to look good, right? So with this chicken wing arm, you can still get the opening in that shoulder. You can still get the pose. But the idea is you don't have the weight of the hand to hold up, so you're not putting as much pressure on that shoulder, and you can still work the posture. You could do it with both arms if you want to. If that is even too much, you can always bring your hands to your hips. Now in this posture, the final thing, press down through your pinky toes, ground. Standing postures, you want nice, strong, supportive legs. So squeeze your core, find the strength of your core, press it down through the feet, reach to the crown of your head. That marionette puppet string is reaching and lifting through the crown of your head. You're looking over that front hand in Warrior Two, and the reason you do that is because it helps to track that knee forward as well. Most important part, take a breath, let it go, and feel the posture. Notice how it feels. Doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside, it's how it feels on the inside. So take that time to notice how the posture feels, so that next time you can find that posture with comfort and enjoy it. And so that is our yoga tip for today. Thank you.